Hello Cricut buddies, welcome to the third lesson of beginner Cricut course, and today we're going to learn all about design space. But before I begin, first of all, I want to congratulate you for making it this far. I hope you girls now understand all the basics about your Cricut, the tools, the materials, the blades, and the mats. Now we're going to get into the second part of working with Cricut, which is working with design space. So there's the software-based part and then there's the hardware-based part. So we have covered the hardware stuff. Now we're going to focus on the software. All right, so before we begin, I just want to let you know this. So everything that I'm going to cover in this lesson is already available in written form. You don't have to take any notes. You can just go and get these Cricut cheat sheets for beginners, and every single thing about the design space is included in the cheat sheets. So as you can see over here, there's several different slides, several different photos of design space with details on what each of these stand for and everything. So you have like several pages of all of these, so you don't have to make your own notes or anything. You can just get these cheat sheets. I'm gonna leave a link below this video. You can just grab this and keep it by your side for reference for later or whatever. So yeah, now let's get started with our lesson. So I'm gonna cover each of the panels one at a time. So we're gonna start with the left hand side. So we're gonna go over everything over here on the left hand side, and then we're gonna go to the top panels, and then we're gonna go to the panels on the right hand side. So let's get started.
So when you open up Design Space, this is the screen you'll end up on. This is the home screen. And it can be divided into 3 different parts. So at the top we have the header, and then we have the banner images, and then we have all the other stuff at the bottom. So on the header you have this hamburger option. When you click on it, you'll see a list of all these different options given over here. And then on the right hand side we have the projects. When you click on this, you'll end up in the library where all your projects are stored. And then we have the option for the new project. When you click on this, you'll end up on the canvas. So over here, we have all the banner images. So this is where you'll see all the news updates, all the updates about the sale. The rest of the page is divided into several sections. So the first section over here is My Projects. And these are all my projects listed over here. So you can easily access all of these projects right from the home screen. And then when you scroll further, there are some other categories of projects that you'll find over here. There's also a section for video tutorials. If you need some help, you can browse through these videos and check them out. And here's a section for cards. Then we have home decor, then infusible ink. Then we have a section for iron-on. So all these images over here, or all these graphics are for iron-on. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now let's have a look at all of these different options given over here.
So first of all, you have your profile name over here. So this is my full name, which is written over here. And then you have the option to view your profile. So if you click on it, you're going to end up on your profile page. And then you have the home option, which is going to take you to the Cricut Design Space homepage. And then you have the canvas option. So when you click on it, you're just going to end up on the canvas. So let's go back. So first we have the new machine setup. We've already completed this part in the first lesson. Next, we have the calibration. We have covered that as well. So the next thing we have here is manage custom materials. So So when you click on the custom materials, these are all the materials that you're going to see. And here's a huge list of all the materials. And you can actually go ahead and edit their settings. So let's say I want to edit the settings of rice paper. So I can change it to cut more than once. And I can also change the pressure. So I can increase the pressure or decrease it. So you can edit whatever you like from here. So let me just click cancel because I don't want to change anything. One more thing you can do over here is add your own materials. So I couldn't find any settings for 250 GSM cardstock. So that's why I added my own settings for 250 GSM cardstock. So let me just show you how to do it yourself as well. So first of all, go ahead and give a name to your material, then click on save. And now you can see the settings have popped up. Currently the pressure is 175. I can increase it to 300. And I can also set it so that it cuts 2 times. And over here, I can also select the type of blade that I want to use for this. So I'm going to leave it to fine point blade because it's 250 GSM cardstock. And I'm just going to click save. If I scroll, I can see the material over here. And if you cannot find your material easily, just press Ctrl plus F or Command plus F on your keyboard and type the material that you're looking for. So 250 GSM. So there you go. This is the new material that I added by myself right here. So this is how you can add new materials, custom materials, and edit the settings of the materials. Next, we have update firmware. So when you click on it, it's gonna take you to a set of instructions which will allow you to update your firmware. So my firmware is up to date, so I don't have to do anything. If you need to update it, you'll see a set of commands over here that you can follow to update your firmware. Next, we have account details. So over here you'll have all your personal details like address and other settings. Next, we have link cartridges. So cartridges are discontinued. They're no longer available, the physical cartridges. Nowadays, Cricut only has the digital cartridges, and these images are available from your Access library. Next, you have Cricut Access. So once you click on Cricut Access, it's going to take you to the Access library. And for that, you need to be a subscriber for Cricut Access. So I'm not subscribed to Access. So this is the screen that pops up, prompting me to sign up for the monthly membership. So I don't need it. I'm just going to close this thing. Then you have the settings. So let me show you what happens when you click on the settings. Clicking on settings gives you the settings for design space. So you can change the look of your grid. You can have full grid or partial grid. So you can see how at the back everything has changed. So the small lines have disappeared. Or you can go for no grid at all. So I like to have all my grids full grid, and I'm gonna leave it to that. And then you can also change your units. So you can either go for inches or centimeters, depending on what you like. So let me just close this. Next, you have the legal stuff, details and stuff. So once you click on it, you're gonna end up there. And then you have the new features. So whenever Cricut introduces something new, if you want to catch up with that, you can go to the left-hand side panel and click on new features, and a guide will pop up, as you can see over here. So this is the latest feature of Design Space. So once you click on the option, it's going to guide you through the whole thing on how the new feature works and stuff like that.
So this is what a Design Space canvas looks like. It is divided into a total of 6 sections. So on top, we have the header, where you can see there is a heading for the canvas, and we have the hamburger option over here, and then we have the title of the project over here, and then we have some options which we're going to look into later on. And then on the left hand side we have the design panel with a couple of different options which I'm going to talk about in just a few minutes. Then we have right under the header, we have the edit panel. So here you'll find all the different options to edit your image or edit your project. And right below that, we have the text editing panel. And this one only appears when there's a text on your canvas. And lastly, on the right hand side, we have the layers panel with all the different options like group, ungroup, duplicate, and at the bottom, as you can see over here, the bottom right, this is an extremely important section. Let me just zoom in a bit so you can see we have all these 4 or 5 different options. These are extremely important to understand because they will help you in taking your projects to the next level. So, all right, now let's get started. We'll first look into everything that's on the left-hand side, and then we're going to move to the edit panel at the top, the text edit panel and the main edit panel. We're going to discuss both of them. And as you can see, since I do not have any text selected, there is no text edit panel over here. And the moment I click on this text, you will see that the text edit panels appear here for us to edit the text. So once we're done with these 2 edit panels, we're going to move on to this panel at the right hand side, and we're going to look at each of these options one at a time. Now, I just wanted to remind you again that you do not have to take any notes. Just listen carefully because I've already compiled all the information about Design Space in the Cricut cheat sheets, which you can grab by clicking on the link below this video.
Now let's have a look at all these options over here. The first one over here is new. So clicking on it opens up a new project. Let's say you're working on something and you're done with it. You can just go ahead and save it and then just click on the option for new, and a new canvas will pop up. Next, we have templates. This is extremely important. A lot of people miss this. So what actually happens when you click on templates is it will take you to this huge library of templates. So you have so many different options. So these are actually there to guide you so that you can adjust the size of your graphics to fit on these stuff. So let's say you are making a graphic to put on the apron. So you can just click on the apron. So once you click on the apron, you can see an apron has appeared over here on the canvas. So let's say you want to add a text over here. So how do you know that your text will fit on your apron? So this is where you're going to use your template. So as you can see over here, let me just zoom in a bit. So you can see now you can easily resize your text to make it bigger or smaller, however you want it, and easily place it on your template and see what it looks like. So this is extremely helpful for making literally any kind of project. So we have gazillion templates over here, and you can use these to get perfectly sized graphics. All right, now let's move to the next option, which is projects. So when you click on projects, you will end up on the Access library where all the projects are listed. You have so many different categories over here. So If you can just click on anything you want to make. So let's say I want to make this cake topper. So I'm going to click on it and I'm going to click on customize. And there you go, my cake topper is here. Now, if you want, you can just customize it however you like, and then you can click on make it, and then you'll get the option to purchase it before cutting it out. Let's go back by clicking cancel. All right, here we are back again. So I'm just going to move this away. And next option over here is images. So when you click on it, it will take you to your image library. So these are the images available from Cricut Access. And over here, you can also access the cartridges. Like I said earlier, nowadays, Cricut only has digital cartridges, and you can purchase these cartridges from here.
The next thing we have over here is the text tool. So when you click on it, a box will pop up where you can add your text. So here's the box. As you can see, it's at the bottom left corner. So here you can add whatever text you like. So once you have added the text, it's going to appear on the canvas, as you can see over here. Later on in this lesson, I will tell you how to edit this text. For now, just this much is more than enough. So let me just get rid of all of this from here. Next, we have the shapes. So once you click on it, a list of shapes will pop up. And to add the shapes to the canvas, all you gotta do is click on the shape that you like. And there you go. So you can add as many shapes as you want by just clicking on each of the shapes. There's also an option for the score line. So once you click on it, this line will pop up and you can add it to your project so that when you move to the cutting part, you can score your project using this line. One more thing to remember is when you're working with score lines, always make sure that you select both the score line and the image, and you click on attach so that the score line stays in place when you move to the mat. So this was all about the shapes. Now let me get rid of all of these. Now we are going to look into the upload option. So this option is used for uploading your images to Design Space. So once you click on it, you'll end up on this screen, and here you have an option to upload your files. So whatever files that you download from any website, any SVG file or a JPEG file or a PNG file, you can upload it here using this option. So all you gotta do is click on upload image, go to browse, and look for the file on your computer. Let me look for something that I can upload here. So I'm going to upload this image of the ninja. So once you've uploaded your file, you're going to end up on this screen. And here you need to select how you would like to save your file. So simple means a very basic set of colors. And as you can see, this gold glitter has changed in color. So simple is great for black and white images. And if you want to turn an image into a vinyl, this is a great option for that as well. But if you would like to print and cut, then you'd have to select complex, and you can see all the colors have popped up back over here. Let me show you once again. So when I select simple, all the pink shades have disappeared from her face, but when I select complex, the colors are back here. So this is the difference between simple and complex. So I'm going to select complex and I'm going to click on continue. And over here you have the option to modify your images. So right now you can see there's no background in my image. That's why there's this checkered background. But if you have a background, and you would like to get rid of it, a background which is white in color, all you gotta do is use this erase tool and click on it to get rid of the background. Let me go back and select an image with a background to show you. So here's an image with a white background, and I'm going to select complex, and I'm going to click on continue. So let me just zoom this thing out, and now you can see there's a white background instead of the checkered background, and I want to get rid of this background, so I'm just going to select an erase tool, and I'm just going to click over here, and you can see the entire background has disappeared, and there's a little bit of the background left inside the letters. Let me just zoom in and show you. So there's this little bit of white patch left over here, so all I gotta do is click on it to get rid of it. Alright, so my image is all cleaned up. Now I can go ahead and save it. I'm gonna do a tutorial on how to change images into an SVG file later on, but for now, just keep this in mind because this is just the starting. First, you need to get hold of the design space, and then we can move to the complicated stuff. All right, so over here now you have two options. You can either save your file as print then cut so that you can print it out first and then cut it out, or you can save it as a cut image, so it's only gonna cut out along the outer edges of the image. So I'm gonna save it as print then cut, and that's it. So now if I want to work with any of the images over here, I can just click on it and click on insert images, and my image is gonna pop up over here for me to start working with it. So that was all about the design panel / the left hand side panel. Now we're gonna move to the next part.